The second race of the Gatorade Cup Series, season number 9, heads to the start of the West Coast Swing as we're here in California at the Auto Club Speedway. It is the Auto Club 400, the first of 4 races on this West Coast Swing in the Gatorade Cup Series. And there's a familiar face on the pole here today. It is TJ Hanley in the 23 who won the Daytona 500 pole and followed up with a win in the Daytona 500. Can Hanley go 2 in a row to start the season? Who's outside is the 34, Trey Wright. Then in third we have Mitchell Collins, fourth is his teammate Jonathan Rains, and running out the top 5 is Marshall Burrow. Then in 6th we have Derek Bouchard, 7th place is Eli Bright, Anthony Charlebois in 8th, 9th is Alex Fletcher, and Griffin Lynn rounds out the top 10. The rest is here with Tyler Fink, who's outside is Wyatt Walker, and there's Stephen Taylor with Anthony Hernandez. Behind them we have Oliver Galloway and Mathis Wells, and there's Jonathan Buford and Matt Godden. Behind them Carter Friesen and Danny Lloyd, and we have Roman Fenway and Jay Jefferson, along with Colton Yo and Vince Vinta. And we have Sebastian Kukulan and Al Lagasse, and Nathan Ormond with Carter Joey. Then there's Joe Jefferson and Cement Oskin, Riley Sampson with Alexander Rowe. Then there's Levi Shones and Jake Galloway. Jeff Bray's last Gatorade Cup Series points victory came here in season number 6. Who's outside is Cole Luigi in the 42. Then we have Adam McDowell and Max Anderson, Trey Rainey with William Bullen, with Luke Rainey and Derek Hamill running our 42-car field for the Auto Club 400 here at the Auto Club Speedway. Hanley on pole for the second race in a row, trying to go for his second win in a row as we go get the starting command to fire these engines up.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the 42 cars firing up as we get ready to roll off the starting grid for our second race of the Gatorade Cup Series, season number 9. And it's once again TJ Hanley on the pole. He won last race at Daytona from the pole position. He's looking to do the same here today and start the season 2 in a row. Hanley won this race back in season number 7, which catapulted him to a shot at the championship where he won at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So can Hanley win once again Auto Club and try and set up another championship run in the Gatorade Cup Series? Can someone like Levi Shones get his 10th Gatorade Cup Series victory? Can Jeff Bright get back to victory lane in the Gatorade Cup Series at a points-paying event? Or can Cole Luigi, Levi Shones, and some of the other California natives win at home? 30 laps to figure it out. Hanley on pole. Pace car to pit road. As they come into the restart zone, we are green at the Auto Club Speedway for the start of the West Coast Swing in the Gatorade Cup Series. Marshall Burrow passes TJ Hanley, and he'll lead lap number 1. Hanley falling back 4 wide on the outside. If somebody's never seen a Gatorade Cup Series race here at Auto Club, they're in for a real treat. This is a crazy race, probably one of the craziest of the season. Yes, the drivers, this is probably one of the races they fear the most. You go 3, 4, 5 wide here. You cannot work 5 wide. 4 wide you squeeze together. It's just a mess waiting to happen. See down the backstretch, shoving there's Mathis Wells and Griffin Lynn. They're 3 wide for the lead. Comes Tyler Fink, and coming 4 wide is the 13 down low. Roman Fenway out front down the 13. And Gatorade Cup Series rookies racing up for the first time in Auto Club in the Gatorade Cup Series. They have to be thinking, my gosh, this is not what I signed up for. This is a crazy event every season we come here. 5 wide to turn 1. It's Mathis Wells pinching together as they make contact. Wells trying to save his car. Contact with Griffin Lynn as they come off turn number 2. Trying to make it work for now. They are down the backstretch. Collins and Mathis Wells making contact in the inside lane. Trying to sort it out by the time they get to turn 3. They're still 5 wide. This is inside the top 10 as well. Contact in the wall for Griffin Lynn, and round he goes. Fenway gets to it. The 13 gets it again. And Daytona 500 winner TJ Hanley's involved. There's Joe Jefferson. There's the 6, I believe it is, and the 21 of Tyler Fink. Yellow is out. Galloway in the 11 leads us back. They were 5 wide that whole lap. It was never going to work, and it didn't work. Cars into the outside wall hard. Griffin Lynn, Oliver Galloway, Hanley, Fink, Fenway. There's Trey Wright. There's Joe Jefferson. There's Lynn. There's Jonathan Buford, Harvey Daniels. There's that 62 car. So our first caution flag of the day out early on Massive crash at the front of the field. They were 5 wide. They got up to the outside wall. Some cars came off the wall and got some others. Hanley, our points there in Daytona 500 winner, involved. So let's see what happened. Griffin Lynn in the middle of a 5 wide, 3 and 4. They were 5 wide. They made it work for half a lap. And right here, it just was never going to work as they go through 3 and 4. Mitchell Collins comes up a little bit. If he maybe stayed down a little bit low, he would have had a shot. Wells gets up into Lynn, who gets up into Fenway, Oliver Galloway, and Tyler Fink. Matt Gahn escapes. The 13 comes off the one right there. That's where Hanley gets collected. Trey Wright into Joe Jefferson. That's where the 31 got his heavy damage. And then Jonathan Beeford, nowhere to go into the crash. But for TJ Hanley, 2 extremes to start the season. You get the glory of winning at Daytona, and they're going to be one of the last cars to finish here at All Club. It's a, big mix there for Hanley. It's going to shuffle him down the points list for sure. Maybe if the 14 stayed a little bit lower, they could have made it, but right there. And the 13 bounced off the wall, gets to the 23, and right there, Jonathan Beeford into the back of the 34. The 31 goes around. So that will be a few slow cars, and we will definitely see a few cars eliminated from this crash as well. Another look at it as they go through 3 and 4. And you can see them 5 wide. Saw Collins and Wells make contact down the backstretch. They saved their cars, but they just could not sort the 5 wide out. If they could have gotten down to 4 wide at some point, it would have been fine right there. Just ping-ponging together into the wall hard, and the 13 comes off. Hanley nowhere to go. He's on the gas. And the few cars do a great job getting around the madness happening around them. But first, let's go on board with Daytona 500 winner TJ Hanley, the 23, nowhere to go as he's involved in this massive crash early on the race. That will end TJ's day a little early here today. A car that just missed it, car freezing the 43, hanging out the back of the field. He's barely able to get by. Great job by car freezing there. Recognizing what was happening, he got around it, but barely. The 9, Jeff Bright, his last one came here in season number 6. He's looking for another. He's at the back of the field. He misses the Great job by all those drivers that just got by. That was very close for them all. So it was Jake Galloway in the 11 leading us back to the caution flag over his teammate, the 20 of Derek Bouchard. And now Galloway's hit the pits with a few others, but some do stay out on the racetrack. That is interesting. Yeah, so Derek Bouchard stays out. Jake Galloway's the first one down the pit lane. Fuel only for the 11 team. He's leaving now with the 00 of Alexander up behind him. There goes Burrow. Luigi's going to take on some tires here. Levi Schoens came to the pits. Is that the 15 Riley Sampson? Is that 99? Colton Yo, Alexander Rowe. So a few cars come down pit road. Jake Galloway has to start the back of the field. However, track position doesn't mean much. You go from the back to the front very easily here at All Club. And Jake Galloway hands lead over to his JGR teammate, the 20 Derek Bouchard, who will now lead us back to the green flag here in the All Club 400. Green flag in lap number 8. Due to the split strategy, Derek Bouchard in the 20 is now out front. Jake Galloway, his teammate, came down pit road from the lead. A lot of cars out from this crash. Oliver Galloway, TJ Hanley, Jonathan Buford, Tyler Fink, Roman Fenway, and Trey Wright are the cars retired. 36 cars on the lead lap. I think the only really slow car we're going to have is the 31 of Joe Jefferson. Probably the 7 of Griffin as well. Those are the only 2 damaged cars that I see out on the racetrack. Top 25 stayed out back to car freezing. 26th on down to 34th came down pit road for some fuel and some tires as well. The race is led by Derek Bouchard in the 20 with Eli Bright in 2nd, Mitchell Collins 3rd, Carter Joey and Anthony Nunez the top 5 with Kukulon, Wells, Bullen, Godin, and Stephen Taylor the front 10. Back racing, blocked there by Carter Joey, puts the 48 down to the bottom again. And the one of Kukulon got a pretty good start as well, good jump. And Collins got a good jump onto the 80 of Eli Bright, going to take the 14 to the bottom lane. As they're 3 wide for 4th, Sebastian Kukulon to the bottom of the 1. And these drivers that see out, they're probably thinking there's going to be another caution flag after halfway to where they can come down. The drivers who came down here, like the 11 of Jake Galloway, who are back there, they're starting to make their way forward again. They're probably thinking we can just work our way back to the front and really restarting 1st, restarting 5th, somewhere around there. It wasn't really going to do anything special. You can just get shuffled back to where you were running right now. Mitchell Collins beside Derek Bouchard. To the start-finish line they race, and it'll be the 14 leading at the start-finish line of 5 points for that number 14. Kukulon to the back of him, but gets taken 3 wide middles. Carter Joey in the 17 comes low. He wants to lead this race. Carter Joey side by side with forward teammate Mitchell Collins down the backstretch. Eli Bright has found his way back down to the bottom lane. 88 coming back forward. Derek Hamilton trying to get low. 3 wide on Derek Bouchard and the 72 of Alex Fletcher. Eli, good run through 3 and 4. That car rotated pretty well, and he's there on Carter Joey. 17 up the racetrack. 88 coming low. As they race side by side, who will lead lap number 9 of the All Club 400? It's going to be maybe Eli Bright in the bottom lane by less than a nose. Eli Bright leads lap 5 points for him. And now it's Derek Hamilton in the bottom in the 32. Fletcher behind him in the 72. Derek came out front here at All Club. Here comes Alex Fletcher, the 72. How about Wyatt Walker looking 4 wide for the lead? 72 gets up behind the 32. Wyatt Walker now 3 wide. 10 car down low looking for the 32. He'll get to the bottom lane. Now it's Matt Oskin taking it 3 wide. Here comes the 47 car. Oskin to the bottom lane. Now they're looking 4 wide for the lead as Stephen Taylor, the 33, comes through on the bottom. 3 wide at the front of the field. 3 by 3. It's Trey Ray now in the 51 for the lead. The 12 of Max Harrison, last season's champion, behind him with Jeff Brent in the 9. Nathan Shaw bottom 96 on the bottom lane coming forward. They're starting to shuffle a little bit more as they come down the backstretch. Ray getting the pusher, Max Anderson, who's trying to get clear. Jeff Wright for the 9. Good run the bottom lane. Will get put now. 4 wide. Anthony Shaw ball looking. The 9 trying to block that off. Trying to get meet Trey Rainey. Jeff Wright did a great job there. 3 and 4. Seeing that the 96 had the run get down from him. Now he's going to be 4-3 wide. As the 96 Anthony Shaw ball goes 3 wide for the lead. Orman looks 4 wide. 18 to go at the start-finish line. Up the racetrack for the 96. Orman comes through. Now Matt Gunn in the 41 to the bottom. 3 wide down the backstretch. Luke Rain, the 2 is there. There comes Luke. He has Colton Yo behind him in the 99. Eli right back down the bottom lane, the 88. Matt Gunn to the lead in 3 and 4. Luke, a good run. Right here, the 2. He'll get down there. Side by side. Now 3 wide comes Colton Yo in the 99. He'll go to the bottom lane. Eli Bright, a big push down the front stretch. And maybe Luke Rain at the start-finish line. Yo, a push from Eli Bright to turn 1. Will the 99 go to the racetrack? Give the bomb to the 88. He does. Way up the track. Eli now to the bomb. Mathis Wells, Jonathan Raines coming forward. And forward. 5 wide in the pack. Contact made between the teammates Orman and Jeff Bright. Wells for the lead. The 18 car. Jake Galloway came down pit road. Was set to restart first. Restart 25th instead. Inside the top 10 again. And now here comes the 38 Al Lagacy. He'll go 4 wide. Jake Galloway looking even lower in the 11. Galloway to the bottom, the 11 car. Marshall Rowe behind Cole Luigi the 42. Now 17 to go. And 4 and 5 wide in the pack. Look at them coming together. Oh, they are 5 wide. The 9 to 24. Right with Colton Yo. Luigi for the lead. 3 wide. They're 5 wide. Contact. Orman to the wall with Mathis Wells. And Eli Price upside down the 88 in the fence. Rolling down the racetrack. Big crash backstretch. Yellow flag in the air. Racing back Carter Friesen trying to get underneath Alexander Rowe. We're coming to 16 to go. Side by side. Carter Friesen trying to beat Jay Jefferson and Alexander Rowe back to the start-finish line. Friesen back in front. Rowe second. Jefferson third. With Fletcher and Cole Luigi the front 5. And a scary crash down the backstretch. Eli Bright flips into the fence. His day definitely done. And we have a lot of torn up cars now. Luke Rainey in the 2 will be done. Griffin Lynn was off pace. There's Trey Rainey and Colton Yo. Wells, Lloyd, Ormond, Anderson. There's Eli, Anthony Hernandez, Stephen Taylor, Adam McDowell, Matt Oskin. Possibly Derek Bouchard. Did Levi Jones get around? How about William Bolin? Walker has some damage. I think I see some damage to that 15. So we do have a few cars with damage. And now these cars should be coming down the pit lane. I would expect everyone to come down. Even if you're Cole Luigi or Jake Galloway and you missed that crash and you pitted, before anyone else, I would still expect them to come down pit road. You're inside the top 5. You need this field. You need to make sure you can make it. So Friesen will come down the 43. But the cars who came down early, staying out. They're banking that they have enough to make it. The 00, the 78, they came down. All these cars that came down under that caution flag the first time, they are now staying out in the racetrack, gaining some positions back. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Even Colton Yo stays out, even though there's a little bit damage in the 99. So Carter Friesen was first hit pit lane, the 43. We'll see what he does on this pit stop. Now, I'm just really shocked, though, that Jake Galloway, Cole Luigi, and those others, they did not decide to come down the pit lane. You have to be a little questionable on fuel at this halfway point. Friesen a little bit of a longer stop, making sure maybe repairing some damage, maybe getting some more fuel into that car. so he'll be towards the back of the field. However, that doesn't really matter here at all, because we mentioned you come to the back to the front easily. It'll be Alex Fletcher first off the pit lane, with Jeff Bright in second. They'll be the first two to come off the pit lane of the cars that came down. Not many of those stayed out the racetrack. I would expect about 7, 8 cars stayed out. Alexander on the 00 is our race leader here at Auto Club. Let's see the big one down the backstretch. Meth, as well as the 18 won them collected. He'll come back on the racetrack a little torn up. It was just controlled chaos at the front, and then it turned into not controlled. They were 5 wide. Jeff Bright, Nathan Orman, Colton Yo, Eli Bright, Luke Rainey, Carl Freese, and Ellen Wells ahead of it with Jonathan Rains. Once the 9 makes contact with the 24 right there, tries to move down off. Orman comes down, tries to then get off the 9. The 9 is sideways, 24 down to the 9, up into Colton Yo, up into Mathis Wells. They spin. Al Legacy barely missed it. There's Eli Bright going for the tumble down the backstretch on top of Wells into the catch fence, then down off, flipping over down the backstretch. Adam McDowell, Luke Rainey, Trey Rainey, Max Anderson. A lot of cars piling as the big one happens down the backstretch here in the Auto Club 400. We knew it was going to happen. We knew a crash was going to be bigger than the one that we first saw. And it happens just before the halfway point of this race. And that's such a shame to see so many good race cars taken out in this violent, violent crash. A lot of big names as well. And 3 of the 400 cars damaged. Eli Bright, Nathan Norman, and Anthony Hernandez. The only one that got away was Jeff Bright, and he barely escaped. There's that hard contact for Eli as he flipped and tumbled down the backstretch. Orman, I think Bullen and Shones, along with Bouchard, may have actually made it through barely. But not good for some of these others, as they will be retired from the race, definitely. And leading the race back to the caution flag, it was Carter Friesen. However, he came down the pit lane. A few stayed on the racetrack. One of them includes the 00 of Alexander Rowe. He stays out. He inherits the lead from Carter Friesen. And car number 00 leads back to the green flag here at Auto Club. Coming back green, the Auto Club 400 mixed strategy again. The cars that came down pit road under the first caution have stayed out. The cars who didn't, they have all come down the pit lane. We will restart with 12 to go here at Auto Club. Surprisingly, even though it was a huge crash, only 2 cars were retired. It's Eli Bright and Luke Rainey. Trey Rainey last car to lead that in 34th, and a ton of damaged cars towards the back of the field. We could potentially see some lap traffic. 12 laps to go. It's going to be very close on that. So the front 9 stayed on the racetrack. They were led by Alexander Rowe, Jade Jefferson, Cole Luigi, Jonathan Rains, Marshall Burrow, Jake Galloway, Riley Sampson, Levi Jones, and Colton Neal. They all came down under the first caution. Yellow little damage to 9th. It'll be interesting to see if 10th on back can get around. Fletcher the first off of pit lane in the 10th position. Friesen took an extended pit stop in the 43. He'll be back in the 20s. He's back in the 23rd position for the restart. Back racing. Yo already slow moves down to the bottom lane. Yo knew he was slow. He moved down because it's illegal to pass on the outside before the start-finish line. If you pass on the inside before the start-finish line, that is a penalty. Yo knew that, and he decided he was going to move down to the bottom to give those drivers on the outside room to run. But now where's he going? Cars are trying to get around down the back stretch. Car Joey going to put the 99 to the middle, and these drivers should be able to latch on with the draft, is my guess. For the lead, Jay Jefferson took it from Rowe. Luigi trying to take it from Jefferson. Go through 3 and 4, and the California native Cole Luigi out front now here in California, and we'll get 5 bonus points for leading this lap. Luigi out front, and Rains coming for second, the 4 car. There's Marshall Burrow, the 37. There comes Jake Galloway coming back for the 11. To turn 1, Rains is down there on Cole Luigi. Marshall Burrow there in 3rd, looking to see where he can go. And we're coming to 10 to go this time by in the Auto Club 400. Jake Galloway looking to the 37 Marshall Burrow to give him the draft. Abandons Cole Luigi, gives the 37 a push to turn 3 to get beneath the 4 of Jonathan Rains. Going through 3 and 4. Now Jake Galloway, the 11, looking low. A little loose there for the 11 in that wake of the 37. Marshall Burrow pulls ahead to clear Jake Galloway. He'll lead at the start-finish line. 10 to go here at Auto Club. Fletcher, the center a run. He's going to take it low. No, he doesn't. He shuts the door to the 00 of Alexander Rowe, but now the 00 looks even lower. As Galloway looks for the lead, Rowe is 3 wide to get to 3rd. He has Jeff Bright, the 9, behind him. This is one of Jeff's best chances at winning a race in a long time. He's not going to be very conservative trying to go for this race victory. He's going to be pushing as hard as he can. It's been since season 6 for the veteran and the champion of the Gatorade Cup Series, Jeff Bright. He wants to get the victory lane and be Jover at win number 25. Rowe clears. Jay Jefferson 3 wide to try and get to 2nd. Anton Charlebois, where is he going? The 96. The one of Kukulon still in this thing. Here comes Jay Jefferson to the bottom of the 78. He'll look for the lead. He'll take it from Alexander Rowe. Now the 96 to the bottom. 78 slid up a little bit. Down the backstretch of the race. Al Legacy, Matt Gunn, Mitchell Collins, Gunn's teammate. Down the bottom lane, making their way forward. Charlebois clears through 3 and 4. So 96 back out front now. Now Cookle on the 1 with the run. Here comes Mac on the 41, the bottom. Derek Hamill still in this pack. William Boland's here. Derek Bouchard trying to stay latched onto the back of it. Got in 3 wide with 8 to go. The 41 car to the bottom has his teammate Mitchell Collins behind him. And the 4, Jonathan Rains, is also in this front pack. 3 of the 4 Stewart Haas racing cars. Coming together, it's Derek Hamill, Marshall Burrow beating and banging on their doors. Jay Jefferson trying to get clear in the 78, trying to get down from Hamill. He couldn't do that. Coming to 7 to go in the all-club 400, Mitchell Collins leads. Hamill comes to his bomb lane. William Boland looking 3 wide in the 3. Has help from Levi Shones. Looking for his 10th Gatorade Cup Series win here today at his home track. Looking 4 wide. Levi Shones going for the win. Looks to the bomb lane. Derek Bouchard now coming to the bomb. 2 veterans of the Gatorade Cup Series battle. Contact back there with Al Legacy and Cole Luigi. They sorted out. They almost crashed. Bouchard's teammate Jake Galloway behind him. Does the 11 pull out? Does he stay with the 20? 3 Toyotas lined up on the bomb. Bouchard now moves up, gives the bomb to Jake Galloway. Contact. Luigi and Cement Oscar come together. Off turn 4. They make it. They're 5 wide down the front stretch. Galloway leads with 6 to go. Jay Jefferson in the inside lane. 5 wide off to turn 1. 2 CGR cars running together. Try and get clear of it. Luigi slides up. Kukala in the middle of it. Try and get it sorted out off turn 2. They don't. Around they go. Big crash. And that's with 5 to go. We will have a restart coming up. 5 to go. It's Burrow. Trying to lead them back over teammates to Matt Oskin. Here comes Friesen and Luigi. You want to set yourself up for the right position on this restart. And these drivers know it. Coming to the caution flag. Marshall Burrow with 5 to go. We're not done yet. 1 lap restart. 1 lap shootout. And it will be teammates Burrow and Oskin 1-2. It'll be Carter Friesen 3rd. Jay Jefferson 4th. Cole Luigi 5th. And then I think it's Levi Shones in the 6th position, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Shones will be 6th. 7th place is going to be Derek Hamill, Jake Gowen 8th, Jonathan Rains 9th, and Jeff Bright 10th. And not many cars got away. They were 5 wide, beating and banging, and they got together for our 3rd caution flag of the day, and not many clean race cars left out on the racetrack. So we'll take a quick look at the reason for the caution flag. 5 wide in the middle of the field off turn 2. It did not work out. This is something we talked about before the season started. These cars are very low downforce. You know, they don't have the big spoilers on the cars, don't have a lot of downforce, and we have seen that a lot here today. These cars are wiggling around the middle of these 5 wide and 4 wide situations. It's just out of control for these drivers. You see Kukulano sideways, he is without Lagacy, and right here, the 38 into the 4. Then they come up and get the 14, the 20, and the 00. The 4 saves it. The 9, the 17 get by the 72. And it's on from the Anton Charbois. Oh, look at that hard hit. Alexander Rope off the ground. That's the 95. It came into Vincent Vinta. And right there we have a big crash down the backstretch, spraying out our 3rd caution of the race. But it does not end the race. That happened with 5.5 to go. They raced back to 5 to go, which means there should be a 1 lap to go restart here in the All Club 400 to win. And we'll have 2 teammates, 1 and 2. Carter Friesen 3rd. Jay Jefferson and Cole Luigi inside the top 5. This is going to be an intense restart. Hard contact. Max Anderson at the end, the 12 gets into it. Anton Charles spins down to the inside. A lot of torn up race cars, but now we have a restart to deal with. Marshall Burrow led teammate Cement Oskin back to the starting finish line, and JTG Doherty Racing is 1-2 here at All Club, looking to win it. Can they finish 1-2 is the big question. It'll be Burrow, Oskin, Friesen, Jay Jefferson, and Luigi, the front 5, for our final restart of the day here in the All Club 400. The fans came for a green flag finish at All Club, and they're going to get a green flag finish here at All Club. We will show the white and green flag together, and there'll be 1 to go, and we will race back around to the checker flag no matter what. We have Luke Rainey out, Max Anderson, and Anton Charles Bois. These are 32 cars on the lead lap, and everyone fighting for every position they can get here. And the front 5, I think, have the best shot at the victory. Marshall Brown, the 37, is our race leader. He has his teammate Cement Oskin, the 1 behind him in 2nd. Then Carter Friesen in 3rd. Jay Jefferson 4th. Cole Luigi 5th. Can Levi Shones pass 5 cars in 1 lap? He'll restart 6th. Derek Hamill 7th. Jake Galloway 8th. Jonathan Rains and Jeff Bright are the front 10. The final restart of the day here at All Club. 1 to go at the start-finish line. Teammates Burrow, Oskin, Who gets the jump? Who gets the victory lane? Green and white together. We're racing here at Auto Club for the final lap. Friesen blocking down there is a good run. He got a great restart. Friesen is there. He'll get to second by the time we get to turn number 1. Friesen's down low. Here comes the 43 side by side. Can Jay Jefferson get the push from Levi Jones? Get to that 43, make a pass down the backstretch. He's looking. He gets 4th red middle. Can Jones get his 10th Gary Cup Series victory? Friesen off to turn number 3. There's Levi Jones. The hungry Jones. He started 6th. Restarts 6th. Now he comes off turn 4. Can he beat Jake Gowen, the drag race at the start-finish line? For his 10th Gary Cup Series victory. Who will it be? Levi Jones does it. His 10th Gary Cup Series victory comes at his home track. Tied for the most wins in Gary Cup Series history. Jones restarted 6th, and he wins the Auto Club 400. And he's tied with Dan Bannon for the most Gary Cup Series wins in history. 3 wide pass in 3 and 4 on Carter Friesen and beats Jake Gowen in the drag race back to the start-finish line. What more could you want out of this race? Levi Jones does it, makes history in the Gary Cup Series, and by a nose beats Jake Gowen back to the start-finish line, and Jeff Bright from 10th to 3rd in that final lap. Levi Jones wins the Auto Club 400 and is etched his name in the record books of the Gary Cup Series. 2 veterans go to victory lane in the first 2 races of the season. Let's go see the finish results of the Auto Club 400. Here are the finish results from the wild Auto Club 400 at the Auto Club Speedway. 3 caution flags for 12 laps, 19 lead changes to 15 different drivers lead laps in this race. And history has been made here at Auto Club. Levi Jones, his 10th Gary Cup Series victory. It's been a long-awaited 10th victory for Jones. Ever since season number 6, he's had this shot where he won 4 races that season, finished runner-up in the championship. Now Jones, in season 9, gets the victory lane for his 10th Gary Cup Series trophy. Started 34th, only led 1 lap. It was Jake Gowen, the one to try and run him down. He had the push from Jeff right there at the end, and those 3 finished inside the top 3. Then Carter Friesen 4th, Carter Joey rounding out the top 5, Jay Jefferson 6th, Marshall Burrow 7th, Cole Luigi in 8th, Cement Oskin 9th, and Jonathan Rains rounds out the top 10. As we look at the top 20, 7 laps led for Marshall Burrow, the most of anyone. He ends up 7th. How about the front 3, though? 33rd, 34th, and 35th is where they all started. Jake Gowen 33rd, Levi Jones 34th, and Jeff Bright 35th, and they end up finishing 1, 2, 3. That is insane. And we had 15 drivers see the lead at some point here today and led laps, and it was probably more than 15 drivers who saw the lead. A lot of shuffling there throughout the laps. I mean, my gosh, what an insane race we saw here today. 32 cars on the lead lap, 33rd on down out from the 3 crashes that we had here today, as it was a very destructive race. I'm really surprised not, more drivers didn't retire, but really, from, I would say, Riley Sampson, Alex Fletcher, they were the last clean race cars. Only about 13, 14 clean race cars. Kukulon finished 15th, but his car was torn up in that final crash. As we look down, TJ Hanley from the pole, from the Daytona 500 victory, involved in the first crash on lap number 3, puts him out of the race in 41st, and that definitely hurts his standings in the points. As now let's go see those point standings. Here are the points after 2 races in the Gary Cup Series season number 9. Only 2 drivers have finished top 10 in both the races so far this season, and one of them is Cement Oskin, who takes over control of the points lead, 20 points over Carter Friesen, who was joined to 2nd. Cole Luigi is in 3rd, Jonathan Rains in 4th, and Riley Sampson in 5th. Then Jake Gowen is 6th, Jeff Bright 7th, Danny Lloyd 8th, Alexander 9th, and Jay Jefferson rounds out the top 10. So as we look at the top 20, our 2 winners so far this season, Levi Jones did bad at Daytona, wins here at Auto Club, up to 14th in points. And then you have TJ Hanley, won at Daytona, did bad here today, 19th in points. And, all of our 2 winners this season, they have a DNF and a win. So Jones DNF'd at Daytona, won here. Hanley won at Daytona, DNF'd here at Auto Club. So, I mean, just crazy how our 2 winners so far this season, they have had very inconsistent seasons, as they're both down 14th and 19th in points. However, because of the chase system we are using, they have 2 wildcard spots currently, Jones and Hanley, as the front 10 points obviously get in. If you don't know what it is, front 10 points get in, 2 wildcards, and the winner of the All-Star race as well. It's going to be 12 drivers fighting for the championship. If the All-Star race winner is not top 10 points, he takes a wildcard spot from one of the drivers that may have a wildcard spot. You have to be top 20 in points if you want to use that win towards a wildcard. Looking down 21st to 40th, Some drivers down here trying to rebound after some bad races. Anton Charles Bois, one of them with 2 DNFs on the season. And we look down here, we also see Tyler Fink and Trey Wright have 2 DNFs on the season. Those 3 right now not in a good position points-wise. They've dug themselves an early hole. However, still very easy to get out of that hole as we're early on in the season. Points still clumped together, only 2 races down, and we'll have a 3rd race of the season and whatnot. If by the time, though, we're done with the West Coast swing and you're still kind of down that hole, it's going to be a little harder to come from it, but we have seen drivers hang around 30th in points, 35th in points, and we have seen them kind of rise up and make the chase in the same season. It just all depends on how the points fall, how good you do in that second half of the season. So after 2 wild races, 2 feel-good winners, we head for our 3rd race of the season. We keep it on the West Coast swing. We go to Las Vegas for the Home Depot 400. I will see you guys then.